For thousands of years, men of influence have been donning a wearable form of identification and communication known as the signet ring. Today, it's simply an attractive accessory that any man can wear. What is a signet ring? Have you ever wondered why some men wear engraved rings? It is a signet ring. Signet rings have been a practical part of men's fashion for thousands of years. For wealthy and important men, a signet ring was a powerful tool akin to a signature. A signet ring is set apart from other rings based on an engraved or raised symbol, series of words or letters, or image on the top half of the ring that was representative of its wearer in some way. It could have been a name, initials, job title, rank, organization or family crest. Though no longer necessary to seal correspondence, it was once an essential part of society and culture and played a significant role in history. We'll explore the rich history of the signet ring, how to wear it, and where and how to buy one. Historically, signet rings played a significant role in business and politics. Used as a seal, a gentleman would use his ring featuring his unique family crest, emblem or monogram to stamp important documents. By dipping the ring into hot wax or soft clay, the ring left a distinct seal that was considered, at the time, to be more official than that of a signature. Used on a global scale by the world's leaders and monumental men, the ring was seen as a way to prove authenticity. They are often referred to as seal rings today. The ring itself had markings on it that identified the specific person or the family of the person wearing it. Sometimes this was a family crest or a coat of arms, but other times it was nothing more than an icon or a monogram that was associated with a family. The ring was made in mirrored image to ensure it came out properly when leaving its mark or impression. Therefore, the rings are often difficult to make and cost a significant amount of money. Signet rings have been used since as far back as 3500 BC, when the people of Mesopotamia began using them as a method of authenticity. Initially, a seal as opposed to a ring, it was a cylindrical device that was rolled across wet clay leaving a distinct impression in the clay. Used to seal a variety of envelopes, jars, and packages, they also functioned in the same way as corporate seals do today, and of course, this is where the corporate seal comes from. In ancient Egypt, pharaohs, religious leaders, and nobles would wear the rings made of stone or pottery called faience. The rings were flat on the outside and ornate with decorations and symbols used to denote its owner. In the early Minoan age, the rings were formed out of soft stones and ivory. Come the Middle Minoan age they were made of harder stone, and by the Late Bronze Age, they had become the signet rings we would recognize today. During the Hellenistic period, 323 BC to 31 AD, they were considered an art form in addition to being used for a purpose. Around the same time, King Mithridates VI of Pontus was an avid collector of signet rings. By medieval times, most members of the nobility wore a signet ring and used it to sign and seal their letters of nobility or other important papers. The signet ring was now widely considered the only authentic way to sign without concern of forgery or tampering. By the 14th century and under the stronghold or King Edward II, it was said that all official documents must bear the seal of the king's signet ring. Despite some people having signet rings that were handed down, most of them are quite modern. For many centuries, the ring would be destroyed when the owner passed, and because they were worn by noblemen, they weren't copied and were considered very valuable, hence their name signet, which is translated to mean a small seal employed for formal or official purpose. By the Middle Ages and well into the 19th century, most men wore these rings with some form of a badge on the flat side. With the king's signet being the most prized signet in the world, all men viewed their rings as important artifacts. It was a mark of elitism, class, and that you were a member of the superior society of men if you had a true signet ring. Despite legal documents being around, the art of handwriting was not, and that's one reason why the signet ring was so vital and important to members of society who would be responsible for signing such documents. Since the ring was so powerful, it was sometimes destroyed when the man died and often a ceremony or ritual was performed. The first signet rings were made with raised decoration and lettering, whereas, following the development of sealing wax, it was actually made with a depressed design. The image would be left when the ring was pressed into it, therefore, had to be resilient to wear and damage. Often the rings would be made of gold or silver with the design cast, rather than carved into the flat end of the ring. Although large in size, they were also intended as a symbol of class and wealth. Due to the considerable cost, many families had a single ring that was handed down from father to son. Only the very wealthy or important members of society had rings exclusive to them. This included the king, religious leaders, doctors of medicine, barristers and solicitors, as well as other noblemen. With the popularity of the rings increasing, many families would keep these heavy and large rings in family jewel boxes as they became more ornate and decorated over the years. Many times men would opt not to wear them on their finger and instead mounted them on chains or the fob of their pocket watch. The signet ring today. Today the signet ring doesn't hold much meaning in society anymore. It's more of a fashion statement or family heirloom handed down from one generation to the next. The royal family in England and other aristocratic families in Europe represent a few types of people you might expect to see wearing an authentic, inherited signet ring. There are still those who commission a ring maker to create a family signet ring, but most men who own the traditional signet rings inherited them from their ancestors and will eventually hand it down to the next generation. Therefore, the ring isn't a true mark of them as an individual, but of someone else in the line. Many world leaders opted to wear these rings on a daily basis, whereas others stowed them safely away. Today, variations of signet rings still occur, with many Freemasons wearing a marked ring identifying themselves to others. Many other clubs and organizations offer seal rings as well. In most cases today it's a matter of personal style when a man wears a signet ring. Some clubs, corporations, and families continue to give seal rings as gifts upon a certain length of service, a graduation or a commendation. Many military men wear signet rings that reflect their rank as a status symbol, whereas others wear symbolic rings to showcase the branch they served with. Should you get a signet ring? It's up to you. It's a unique piece of jewelry, and as a man, besides your wedding band and maybe your collar pin or a tie pin or your cufflinks, there's not a whole lot of jewelry you can wear and still appear elegant. There are no hard and fast rules, so you can wear a ring on any finger you choose. That being said, there are many traditions about which fingers rings should go on. In Britain, traditionally, the signet ring is worn on the pinky finger of the left hand. During Victorian times, men would wear their pinky ring and their wedding band stacked together on the left pinky finger. Winston Churchill wore his signet on his right ring finger. Whether you wear the ring as a status symbol, for authentication, or simply because it was handed down to you, a signet ring is still considered a mark of the elegant gentleman. We hope you've enjoyed this short primer on signet rings, and will share the story of your ring in the comment section below. Take a look to our collection. You will find the link in the description. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thank you.